So I still think we're going to be that team that the last 5 games of the season is what's going to matter, and we're not going to make it by literally 4 points. I'm
Okay,
still calling it.
But are the Canadian sellers or buyers? I don't think they're buyers, but are they going to be sellers?
Sellers.
Stellar
I
slash
think they're going
stay
to.
still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
I
know
think
But
what?
staying still doesn't help. I don't find in a way if you're not going to come to an agreement with Evans. So Anthony, all his points, I think it's a mix of everything. Like it's a very fluid situation up until the deadline. How much more time do we have to the deadline? Another
March
what,
7th. March
2 weeks?
7th.
About
we
yeah.
have
So
2
it's
weeks.
it's going to be a really fluid
it all
situation.
depends on where they're at by March 5th.
They're 5 points right now.
that's
I
hard.
truly believe throughout the week of the Four Nations tournament, a lot of people speculated, and a lot of pro hockey analysts predicted trades to go down during the tournament. And good on GMs for not doing it, just to probably
Exactly.
to not distract the hype of the tournament.
Yeah, it doesn't take the guys out of the mind frame of competing in the tournament and all that, which is, like you said, hats off to the GMs. Anthony did bring up one point that I absolutely have to cover. It is the Montreal Canadiens' duty to take advantage of this. If you take the Ottawa Senators, who are in a similar points position as the Montreal Canadiens, you see how banged up they are. You have some of their top players like Jake Sanderson, obviously Brady Tkachuk, who's not playing. I think there are a lot of players who are coming back from this tournament slightly banged up.
Well, for sure.
The Canadiens have to capitalize on this. I think one of the number one players that comes to mind that took advantage of this break, Nick Suzuki. Ironman Nick Suzuki, a week and a half, 2 weeks off. Any injuries, any little minor ailments that have been possibly lingering, it is a blessing in disguise that we didn't have too many of our key role players, our key point scorers who didn't go to this tournament. It is their obligation to take advantage of the ailments and the injuries and maybe the fatigue of other players top tier players, by the way, who were at this tournament. So full pedal to the metal for the Montreal Canadiens. These 2 weeks leading up to the trade deadline, go for it. And Sammy, to circle back to your question, whether or not they're sellers, I think they have to be sellers. And then I think it's an opportunity for the young guys. Go for it. See what you can do. Try to get into the playoffs and hold on.
4 players might get traded: Evans, Savard, Armia, Dvorak.
Okay, but hold on. Can I ask you this question? Yeah. And fully agree. Besides Evans, Mike Evans,
it's a numbers
besides
thing.
Jake, okay? Besides Jake Evans, Savard, Dvorak, these guys are all players that we all want out. It's a fact. For the rebuild, for the future, they want out. But ask yourself this question, okay? The next 2 weeks are crucial.
Yep.
For this team.
Yep.
And then it will determine what are we doing March 7th. Yep. Because now we're 5 points away. Yep. Everybody is close, up to fucking 9th place of the East.
That's a problem though, Anthony. There's too many teams in between. It's not Montreal's 5 points away, and the only thing above them is that spot. There's like 3-4 teams. That's the problem.
Everybody's
the Islanders, the Rangers, Detroit.
Guys, it's every single team. It's Columbus at 62, Boston at 61, Rangers at 58, Islanders at 57, Montreal 57, Philly 57, Pittsburgh 55,
my God,
and Buffalo 55. So every 51. Maybe Buffalo is far, but everybody is close for that spot. Now, that's why I'm saying the next 2 weeks are crucial, because in 2 weeks from now, if we're at the same level, like looking at the standing today, screenshot it. If it's the same screenshot on March 5th, then yes, let's be sellers. Let's focus on next year. Whatever happens, happens. I think we need to rebuild for next year. But what happens?
I don't think they're going to be buyers.
No, they're not going to be buyers.
Hold on.
No, they're not going to buy.
Hold on. Let's say we're on a winning streak from now to March 5th.
They're not going to buy.
We go back to that
Anthony.
December fucking. Now we're
sorry, Anthony, you're alone.
No, I'm asking you this question, hypothetically.
I'm going to answer this question.
I'm not agreeing. I'm not saying that we're going to be. I'm saying screenshot today, March 5th, same screenshot. Yes, we're sellers. Focus on the future. Mm-hmm. But in the next 2 weeks, we win every single game. Single game. No, seriously. We're at the December peak where the Montreal is the best team in the NHL, like in December. And now we're at 55 points. We are the number 1 wildcard spot. We have that spot.
We're still sellers. Or nothing. Because we're not there to buy. There's no player, to me, or 2 players that is going to make the difference for Montreal to win. And if you're doing that, you likely have this player 2 years, 3 years, 4 years because of whatever their existing contract is. And then you have all these players now that are coming in next year that you either going to have a pay raise or whatever the case is. There's no way they can do it.
No, but I agree. And that's what I'm worried about, the mindset of Hughes and Gorton. Come March 5th, and you're the 8 points gained. We're at 65 points, and we're at that spot. Do they fuck up and keep Evans? And you know what I mean? Like,
no,
I'm
they
just
should
worried
still
about...
sell them.
Here, guys.
All of them. They should still
am I
get
coming
rid of
in
them.
clear? Am I coming in
Yeah.
clear?
You're clear now.
Okay.
Now you're back.
Perfect. Okay, good. Carolina on Tuesday. San Jose on Thursday at home. Saturday against Buffalo in Buffalo. Now we're in March. We're in March 1st, Saturday in Buffalo. March 3rd, that's a Monday, against Buffalo in Montreal. And then Thursday, March 6th in Edmonton. The Canadiens have potential to win 3 out of these 5 games. So that's 6 points out of the next 10. 6 points out of 10. Are you trading? Or are you just are you listening are you listening at offers and you're going with what you got, and we're gonna live and die with the lineup we have and see if we make wild cards or not? That's if they win 8, I believe, this is my opinion, Kent Hughes is not gonna make any moves, but he's gonna listen to offers. And if these offers make the team potentially better than what they are now and in the future, he'll accept those trades.
And Sam, if you have a chance to trade the players we mentioned, the 4, Evans is a numbers thing, it's not happening. You get really good offers for all 4, even if you're in a wild card spot. Do you still make the trade?
To me, Joey,
okay,
those hold on. Those trades, the only way you accept is if for a player that could play now, and that's better than the player you're trading, but he's going to be here long term. It's not going to be. It's not going to trade for a player with 1-year contract or maybe 2-year contracts, and then if your pro scouts are like, no, this guy is going to be good for us. If this player is good for us long term, and we could sign him for more or less the same amount of money he's making now, that won't hurt us on the cap. Fine. The trades I'm thinking, like William Alexandre Carrier, a type of trade like that. That's the only.
There's 4 of them. I don't expect for all 4. Maybe
no,
1,
I don't.
2 of the 4.
Joey, I don't even think guys are gonna teams are gonna accept Christian Dvorak. I personally don't think.
I know.
Unless a 4th line centerman is hurt, and Kent Hughes is okay with retaining salary, no problem at all. You get $1.75 million for him, or maybe $2 million max. Fine, give us something in return.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I strongly believe. Sorry, I think that we're in good hands with the management that we have in place. If it was the Bergevin era, then a good chance he's making moves to try to win now, to try to make that spot. I think we're in the right hands of Hughes and Gorton to make moves, like Sammy just said, make moves that if it can help us now and future, he'll make it happen. But he won't make a move to just make it happen, to make it work now. Then I agree with Joey.
He's not doing any short-term moves.
He's not doing any short-term moves. He's gonna make a move that, hey, you know what? He's gonna get an offer. Okay, this is gonna help us now to make the playoffs, but also help us in the next 2-3 years. Boom. But if it's an offer that's only gonna try to help us today, but not next year, then no, it's not going to happen. And I think that's where the comfort I feel that he's going to not make those crazy moves.
And
so
what you're getting at, and boys all around, like this is a round table. I think you guys are all narrowing towards the same thing. It is so critical with so many of the younger guys. The contracts are close to coming to expiration or big time renewals. Mm-hmm. They have to be so cautious about how they're going to piece together this puzzle and what's coming in and what's going to fit. I think it's not about assets. It's not about draft picks. We have plenty of draft picks. It's not about finding substitute players. I think the biggest challenge in all of this is they have to take a step back. They have to have all the names on the board. They have to have their suspected salaries or what they are expecting to be giving for the future contracts. And they're going to have to say, who is here? I think, like, for example, I'm going to throw something at you guys. Kirby Dach. Mm-hmm. I think Kirby Dach is a very, very interesting name where he's somewhere on the board where he could be a part of the future plans. he could also be a guy that could be moved if he
yeah.
doesn't step up. And so
Next
like
year's
it's a
his last chance. Next year's his last
exactly
chance.
it's a very interesting puzzle. You're gonna have to like, you know, how quickly is Helene Hudson gonna get to a crazy high contract? I don't think there's a bridge contract for Lane Hudson. I think Lane Hudson
can't.
gets the big bucks
8
right
years.
off the bat. Demidov is going to be a guy who's going to get big bucks right off the bat. So who is going to be here? Who are we moving? Who's going to stay long term? And what kind of dollars are there? And all the moves are going to coincide with how this puzzle is going to financially fit together.